Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders have made a bold move before training camp by signing Von Miller, an 8-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl MVP, to bolster their pass rushing unit. While Miller is no longer the every-down dominant edge rusher he once was, he fits Washington's needs perfectly. The team doesn't expect him to play every snap, but rather fill a specific role. In passing situations, Dan Quinn and his staff understand Miller's current limitations but value his experience and ability to deliver in high-leverage moments. Miller's biggest weakness in recent years has been availability, having played only 36 games over the last 3 seasons due to multiple injuries. Despite these setbacks, Washington believes they have a plan to utilize Miller effectively without overburdening him, turning a potential liability into an asset for their defense's pass rush. Miller's absence in many games has been a concern in the past, with his snaps limited by injury, recovery protocols, and effectiveness on the field. Since Week 11 of the 2020 season, he has not played more than 50% of defensive snaps in a regular season game. However, the Commanders aren't worried because they are signing Miller for situational usage. He's been a rotational player in recent years, especially saving energy for crucial moments like playoffs, where he's played over half of the snaps in 5 of 9 games. This situational usage model fits perfectly with the Commanders' needs, as they want to maximize Miller's impact in key passing downs rather than relying on him for an every-down role where his durability might be an issue. Dan Quinn is known for his ability to manage veteran players and get the most out of their skill sets without risking overuse. The Commanders have been deliberate in their roster construction and know exactly what they are getting with Miller. His experience, talent, and ability to create pressure on the quarterback are valuable, even if limited in snap count. The coaching staff likely has a detailed plan in place for Miller's role, ensuring he is fresh and impactful when it matters most. The Commanders' management understands the balance between Miller's current physical condition and his potential to influence the outcome of games, especially in critical moments where his experience can tip the scales. At 36 years old, Miller remains a potent pass rusher, as shown by his performance last season with the Buffalo Bills. Despite limited snaps, only the 109 pass rushing attempts, he still managed 6 sacks and 32 pressures, finishing with a 16.1% pressure rate, which ranked 10th best in the league among players with over 175 pass rush snaps. This efficiency highlights why Washington sees value in Miller, rather than deploying him on early downs or in run-heavy situations. Quinn plans to use him primarily on 3rd and 4th downs to maximize his chances of disrupting the opposing quarterback. Miller's trademark spin move and quickness off the edge remain weapons that can swing momentum during crucial passing downs. General Manager Adam Peters had other options, but chose Miller for his unique fit within the Commanders' defensive scheme. Instead of signing a more traditional every-down rusher like Darius Smith or trading draft capital for Trey Hendrickson, Peters opted for a strategic, cost-effective signing. Smith, for instance, is a physical player who wins reps with brute strength and would demand a bigger contract, possibly affecting the team's salary cap flexibility. The Commanders needed a speed rusher who could provide a spark in passing situations without becoming a financial or roster burden. Miller fits this profile perfectly, offering a blend of experience, skill, and affordability in a market where top pass rushers command huge contracts. Trading for Hendrickson would have been flashy and drawn headlines, but the Commanders are wary of sacrificing future roster flexibility for an expensive veteran. With major contract decisions looming for key players like Terry McLaurin, Laramie Tunsil, Marshon Lattimore, and Deebo Samuel, the team cannot afford to lock up significant cap space in Hendrickson's deal. Peters demonstrated prudence by avoiding a deal that could handcuff the team's offseason options. Instead, the Miller signing is a clever way to address a pass rush deficiency, while keeping options open for contract extensions and other roster moves. The team's front office is clearly thinking long-term, balancing immediate needs with future sustainability. The Commanders' defense struggled to close out games last season, managing only 5 sacks in the 4th quarter, which contributed to lost opportunities. Adding Miller, a player renowned for making game-changing plays in critical moments, addresses this glaring weakness. His knack for shining under pressure and delivering when it counts most adds a new dynamic to Washington's pass rush, Miller's experience in high-stakes playoff situations demonstrates that he can still perform at an elite level despite recent injuries. The Commanders need that kind of clutch production if they want to win close games, especially given the tougher schedule they face this season. Miller also brings leadership and mentorship to a young defensive line that can benefit from his veteran presence. While his on-field snaps may be limited, his off-field influence could be just as important. Teaching younger players the nuances of pass rushing, how to read offenses, and manage their own bodies throughout a long season can elevate the entire unit. This added depth and knowledge transfer is invaluable, especially as the Commanders look to build a competitive defense for years to come. Miller's role in the locker room could be a catalyst for growth and improved performance across the defensive front. The signing also signals the Commanders' strategic approach to roster building, prioritizing situational impact players rather than expensive, every-down veterans whose performance may decline with age. Miller represents a perfect blend of risk and reward, as his career achievements provide confidence, while his limited usage mitigates injury concerns. It's a smart move that complements the team's existing core and helps address specific weaknesses without derailing salary cap plans. This methodical approach reflects the Commanders' desire to remain competitive while managing the realities of an aging roster and future financial commitments. In summary, Von Miller's addition to the Washington Commanders is a calculated decision that aligns with the team's current needs and future goals. While Miller is no longer the dominant every-down force he once was, his situational pass rushing prowess, playoff experience, and leadership qualities make him a valuable asset. Dan Quinn and the Commanders' front office clearly understand his limitations and have devised a plan to maximize his effectiveness. This signing represents a smart, low-risk, high-reward move that could pay dividends during critical moments of the season, helping Washington improve their pass rush and close out tight games in a challenging upcoming schedule. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The Washington Commanders are already dealing with a storm before the first whistle of training camp even sounds, and the craziest part, it's not their fault. Just days before rookies are set to report to Ashburn, Virginia, a potentially massive absence is looming over the franchise. Cornerback Trey Amos, one of Washington's most promising young players, might not even be there. Not because of injury, not because of attitude, but because of something so much more frustrating: business, NFL business. And the chaos didn't start in Washington, it started in Houston and Cleveland, and now the ripple effect is slamming into every single team with a second-round pick. It's the kind of league-wide domino effect that nobody truly saw coming until it was too late. And now the Commanders find themselves waiting, hoping for another team to blink first, while Trey Amos remains unsigned and possibly unavailable for one of the most crucial developmental periods of the NFL calendar. It's pure gridiron drama unfolding. At the heart of this escalating situation is a major standoff over rookie contracts, and it's all centered around a very specific draft range, the second round. Out of 32 players selected in the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft, a staggering 30 remain unsigned. Let that number sink in. 30. That's not just a coincidence, it's a statement. Teams around the league are scrambling, confused, and caught off guard, not because they don't want to pay these players, but because the financial landscape has shifted under their feet. The reason the franchises took a massive leap, perhaps even a reckless one, depending on who you ask, and now everyone else is left trying to figure out whether to follow, resist, or somehow reset the market. And for Trey Amos and the Commanders, they're stuck in a frozen negotiation, not by disagreement, but by fear. Fear of setting the wrong precedent, fear of getting burned. It all started when the Houston Texans, who didn't have a first-round pick this year, decided to go all in on their second-round selection, wide receiver Jaden Higgins. With the 34th overall pick, they handed Higgins a fully guaranteed contract worth $11.7 million over 4 years. That may not sound like much compared to the blockbuster deals handed to first-rounders, but make no mistake, this was a seismic shift. A second-rounder getting fully guaranteed money, that's uncharted territory. That's the Texans essentially saying, we're treating you like a first-rounder. And that single move cracked open the door that the rest of the league had been desperately trying to keep shut. Teams talk about setting the market all the time, but Houston, they didn't just set it. They lit it on fire. Not to be outdone, the Cleveland Browns stepped in and poured gasoline on the flames. One pick before Higgins, at no. 33 overall, they selected linebacker Carson Schweizinger. Now with Houston offering full guarantees to the guy after him, Cleveland had no choice but to match or even surpass the move. So Schwiezinger walks away with an $11.8 million deal, all guaranteed. Think about the implications. A linebacker, before even playing a down in the NFL, is now sitting on nearly $12 million fully locked in. No escalators, no conditions, just guaranteed cash. And once that happened, it wasn't just two teams making bold moves, it became a league-wide crisis. Teams aren't just nervous, they're paralyzed. And rookies like Trey Amos are caught directly in the crosshairs of a power struggle. That has nothing to do with them and everything to do with owners' agents and a new negotiation battlefield. Now every franchise with a second-round pick is left playing a terrifying game of chicken. Who blinks next, who follows suit with the Texans and Browns, and who dares to try holding the line, hoping to avoid a full-scale collapse of the pay structure? Right now, everyone's eyes are locked on Seattle. The Seahawks selected safety Nick Emmanwori with the 35th overall pick, just one slot behind Higgins. And here's the reality: Seattle's move could determine everything. If they follow the new trend and hand Emmanwori a fully guaranteed deal, it's game over. The rest of the second round could domino into massive guarantees, forcing even teams with latter-round selections to offer contracts typically reserved for top 20 picks. The Commanders are praying that Seattle holds firm, that they resist, because if they don't, Washington's situation with Amos could go from frustrating to disastrous overnight. Let's be honest here, this situation is beyond unfair for the Commanders and Trey Amos alike. Neither side is playing hardball, neither is trying to out-negotiate the other. This isn't a case of a diva rookie or a stubborn front office. It's pure gridlock caused by external forces. And as much as Washington would love to get a deal done, locking Amos into a contract now before the market settles could force them into giving him terms that spiral beyond what they expected. Amos, a physically gifted and technically sound corner projected to start opposite Marshon Lattimore, deserves to get paid what he's worth. But how do you define worth when the market is mutating by the hour? This isn't just a contract dispute. It's a philosophical crisis about value, precedent, and the future of rookie deals in the NFL. And the Commanders are standing right in the middle of it. The uncertainty is only adding more pressure as the clock ticks closer to July 18th. The day rookies report. If Amos doesn't show up, it's not a surprise. He wouldn't be alone. In fact, he'd be joining a growing list of second-round rookies choosing to sit out rather than sign deals that could cost them millions in guaranteed money down the line. Just ask Trey Harris of the Chargers. Their rookie wideout reported to camp, but not to practice. He's in a holding pattern just like Amos could be. And while no team ever wants to see their rookie class come in fractured, there's little anyone can do until anyone decides to act. For Washington, the fear isn't just losing Amos for a few practices. It's what happens if this drags out, if it causes tension, if it sets the wrong tone for a camp that's already buzzing with change and expectation. Make no mistake, Washington's secondary is built with intent. Lattimore's arrival was a big splash, but it was always meant to be part of a duo, Amos locking down the other side. Without him, the Commanders are forced into improvisation. Jonathan Jones, a veteran with solid experience, could step in. But is he part of the long-term plan? Does he bring the same upside? Probably not. And while this might be a golden opportunity for someone like Jones to prove his worth and maybe even earn a larger role, Washington doesn't want to test its depth chart out of necessity. They want competition, not compensation. And until this contract mess gets cleared up, the defense has to prepare under the cloud of uncertainty. This isn't ideal. This isn't how you want to enter a new season, especially when your team is trying to climb back into relevance in a stacked NFC. Meanwhile, the rest of the league is holding its breath. Every general manager, every head coach, and every agent is watching Seattle with a level of intensity usually reserved for playoff games, because that next domino, Nick Emmanwori's contract, will either reset expectations or confirm the worst-case scenario. If the Seahawks give in and hand Emmanwori a fully guaranteed deal, that will be 3 straight picks in the second round, who've shattered precedent, and from there it's an avalanche. Every pick from 36 through 64 could reasonably demand the same, which brings us all the way down to Andrew Mukub of the Eagles at pick 64. What happens when his camp starts asking for full guarantees? That's the fear, that's the chaos. And that's why teams like the Commanders are praying, yes, praying for someone to put their foot down and slow this runaway train before it becomes the new norm. In the grand scheme of things, this isn't just about Trey Amos or Jaden Higgins or Carson Schwiezinger. This is about a possible tectonic shift in how NFL contracts are structured. The rookie wage scale, once thought to be the solution to spiraling rookie holdouts and bloated contracts, is suddenly under siege from within. Teams tried to establish consistency and fairness with slotted deals, but when even one or two franchises decide to go rogue, the entire structure collapses. It's like Jenga: pull one block out and hope the tower holds. Houston and Cleveland, they yanked their blocks with confidence. Now the rest of the league is wondering if they have the nerve to keep pulling, or if someone finally rebuilds the tower before it topples over. And while the fans just want to see their rookies on the field, the front offices are wrestling with something far bigger than practice reps. They're fighting for the future financial sanity of the sport, so now all eyes are on what happens next. Will the Seahawks make a move that resets the entire landscape? Will Trey Amos show up? Or will Washington enter camp down a crucial starter before a single snap is taken? The truth is, no one knows, and that's what makes this so maddening. The Commanders have done everything right. They've drafted smart. They've built their defense. They're ready to roll. But here they are, trapped in a league-wide gridlock, waiting on a ripple that started far away to reach their shores. Football isn't even being played yet, and the drama is already at playoff levels. That's the NFL in 2025. Not just a game of inches, but a game of contracts, leverage, and timing. And for Washington and Trey Amos, the final whistle on this contract standoff hasn't been blown just yet, but it better come soon, because time is running out and the season is coming fast. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.